And hello, welcome everyone on YouTube. Yeah, let me check the volume. Okay, looks good. Welcome everyone. So today we are going to talk more about our OpenFoam Application Editing, and yeah, we're going to continue discussion and where we left off. Okay, so last time I was talking a little bit more about these templates and constructors and destructors, and of course memory management, at least the concepts of memory management and the role of destructors in memory management. Okay, so anyway, I kind of brush across it very quickly just to give you a very big overview. All right, and I'm going to just carry on from there. Okay, so this is the template demo.H we were dealing with the last time. Okay, but okay, we're not going to go through too much of that. Let's try looking at other bits of the code. Okay, you'll see in this part we already know what templates are. Okay, now we know what templates are, but we don't know what this tmp thing here is. Okay, so and also there's another thing that may intrigue you every now and then is this thing called autoPtr. Okay, both of these are actually pretty related in concept, but for the most part you don't have to deal with them. Why? Okay, because both of these actually are tools to help you deal with memory. Now this is I think a blog by Mustafa. I don't know what his last name is, but he has a pretty good article on memory management. And I'll paste this in the description if you're interested. There's also an OpenFOAM guide for TMP. Okay, so these are some useful links. Okay, which again I will paste in the description. Okay, the simple algorithm is one place where you see this TMP function being used inside your what do you call that? uEquation.H. Okay. So anyway, these are two of the same, right? Yeah, these are two of the same things. And then here is a forum post, TMP. Okay, what's TMP? So I think someone was trying to figure out OpenFOAM. And interestingly enough, he got such a headache that he was wondering, she was wondering, whether TMP stands for True Macro Pain. So it is a pain to figure out OpenFOAM code. I think this guy here actually figured it out, or rather he knows what this TMP means, and it's quite the headache, and you can read more about it here, but it's basically memory management. Okay, so let's go to simpleFoam. Yeah, let's go to simpleFoam and check it out. Okay, so I'm probably gonna open a new terminal. Okay, and I'll just bring this to the top right, and this one will go to the bottom left. Okay, so let's go to src, or maybe go to app. Yeah, a simpleFoam is there. Go to solvers, go to where? Incompressible, go to simpleFoam. Okay, in uEquation you'll see this simpleFoam.C, pEquation.H, and uEquation.H. Okay, let's go to the uEquation.H. Oops. Vim uEquation.H. You'll see this TMP class, TMP thing being used here. It is pretty much something like a template. Okay, which of course if you go to the tmp.H, you will see a little bit more what it does, and this is how you actually use it. Okay, so tmp fe vector matrix equals to tu equation. Okay, why is there a t here? Okay, t here represents that this is of the tmp class or template. Okay, it's just for clarification. And these the functions here, as you can see here, there's one function called a ref function, and also if you look in the pEquation.H, there is another function called the clear function. Okay, there's another function called the clear function. Okay, so these are some of the functions there, and by by this you can guess, okay, tu equation dot clear, by the name of the function, you can kind of see that, hey, this thing is probably a this thing is probably a thing you kind of want to delete off later on, right? Because the whole idea of memory management was to free up variables that take up unnecessary memory, and this was important if your memory is low, like in the older computers. Okay, but yeah, anyway, so that's the idea. Okay, and this is what the function does. Okay, so so you can see that this I'm not going to explain what all these are, but you see this is another place where the tmp file is being used, or tmp function is being used. Okay, so yeah, you won't see that. It doesn't look like it will have this clear thingy thing over there. Okay, yeah, I won't have the clear thing over there. I don't see the clear thing over there. Yeah, but this tmp class doesn't have the same functions as, let's say, the volume scalar field or volume vector field class within it. Okay, which we last saw. So it has two functions. It's a clear function and a relax function. Oh no, clear function and a ref function. Okay. Also, yeah. What else do we have? Yeah. Also, yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Okay. So there's a ref function and a clear function. So that's all we have. Again, these are basically ways to reduce the amount of RAM that your code needs to use overall, and especially at the peak. Okay? They call it peak memory or something like that. But the long and short of it is that this is actually used to reduce the amount of memory that's being used. That's the same idea. So again, the way it's being used here, tmp in tu equation, or tmp of something. Okay, this is the class, this is the object, and you can see by this syntax, this is actually a sort of template. tmp is sort of a template. So where does tmp and everything come from? Okay, if you look at simpleFoam, if you look at fv matrix.H, for example, you will see the include tmp.H over here, and that's okay. So if you go, where do you find this tmp source files? Okay, then you will go to this place called okay, if you're not sure, I can't remember offhand now, honestly, just use the find function. Find in this directory the name tmp.H. Okay, I think yes, that's the way. You will see that it's inside OpenFOAM and memories. The other one you want to look for is this thing called autoPtr.H. So find in this directory the name autoPtr.H. You will also find it inside memory. So let's go to OpenFOAM. Okay, so this is in source OpenFOAM memory. Okay, so this is where you will find three things related to memory. One is called the autoPtr. One is called tmp, and the other one is this thing you'll see called the ref count. Okay, so if you go to tmp, you should see some very familiar syntax, as in template syntax. Okay, there's a ref count.H word.H. I can see template plus t, and the class is called tmp. Now notice here they did not use type. The class, they did not use type in the template. And I suppose here that's all right, but I suppose in a MV matrix, this is less ambiguous. It's easier to read compared to this. You don't know what T is, whereas with this thing, it's slightly typing the whole word type out, and there's less ambiguity here. Okay, so there's a class here with, again, private data, public functions. Well, there are no protected functions. There are constructors, destructors. Okay, all of these are important to have. Okay, so let's take a look if we can find our ref. Okay, ref function. Okay, so see this thing is there's a ref function sort of thing here. So this is a ref function, and then let's take a look at the clear function. Okay, this is the clear function being declared. All of these are also functions which I will not elaborate how to use. Okay, and also just if you want, you can go and explore here, but I don't suggest dealing too much with memory management in this point in time. I just want you to know they exist and they're there. Dealing with it, it's another complicated topic altogether. Okay, so let's look for autoPtr. Okay, and you will see that autoPtr is again another class very similar to tmp. Okay, so where does all this autoPtr and tmp come in? Okay, they come in the stage where you start to optimize your code. Okay, these things all come in when you start to optimize your code. So when do you usually optimize your code? So let's say you wrote your code normally without your tmp and all these things, and then you realize, okay, you find that it uses too much memory, or you want to reduce the memory, the amount of RAM it uses, and of course, I don't know, maybe the CPU power. How you want to speed up your code, right? Okay, so let's say you finish up your code, you have programmed everything nicely using all the classes that you know, the constructors, everything up. Yeah. And then once you're done, you find that you want to speed up your code, you want to clean up your code, you want to make it use less computer resources. That's where you start using all this tmp and autoPtr. Okay, you don't always have to, like, say, use it. Okay, so don't worry too much about this part yet, but know that you will see a lot of this syntax here because the OpenFOAM is a very the developers put in a lot of effort in optimizing this code. So that's why you will see this tmp here, you'll see this autoPtr here. Okay, autoPtr. Okay, so you see the autoPtr being used here. Okay, again to reduce memory. Now, how is autoPtr and tmp being used? I explained before there are two functions that are being used in simpleFOAM. You can of course use them for icoFOAM or whatever. Doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so I'm not going to do some performance tests or anything like that. I'm not going to do it now just yet. Okay, but what I want to do is to really familiarize you with the what this tmp is all about. Okay, so let me go to let's see. Yeah, let's go to for namespace sandbox2. Let's see whether we can make. Okay, we can play around with some of these things. Or rather, okay, let me do it with less effort. I'll go to the custom solver. I'll go to experimental icoFOAM. Yeah. And let me go to the make files or vim make options. Okay, that's fine. Vim make make the files here. Okay, again, I don't want to put this inside my foam user app bin. I want to put it in this directory. Okay, so again, this is experimental iCodeFoam. It's just a folder which I can play around with. Okay, so in this part, I want to demonstrate, okay, that we can use some functions in tmp. Okay, so I want to use some functions in tmp. So normally you would have your wmake. Okay, this is your iCodeFoam, vanilla iCodeFoam. There's nothing else. So it'll take a while to run because again, this thing actually involves a lot of libraries. So let's go to custom. Okay, maybe I'll just start editing this solver for you. Yeah, at least just to demonstrate how it's used. Okay, so this is the T equation, right? Okay, so what can we do with the T equation here? I'm not going to do very much. Okay, again, I did not use the standard OpenFOAM way of writing. Let me put here tmp demonstration. Yeah. Okay, so what do I want to do? Okay, over here, let's declare tmp fv scalar matrix tt equation. All right, and then I will just copy and paste this whole line of code because I don't want to rewrite everything from scratch. Now indent it backwards and indent it forward. 1 2 3 4 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay, very particular here. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay, so this is how you declare your class or declare your object. The object is now called tt equation. So what are the, I'm just going to demonstrate. I'm not going to make this actually useful. I just want to say I want to declare an object using this tmp class and use some functions. Okay, so what am I going to use here? So I'm going to tmp info tmp.dot what ref. There's a ref function there, or t equation dot ref, and then endline. So that will print whatever this ref thing returns. Okay, I don't know what it will return. And then I will clear this out because you don't really, there's only one time you use this tt equation. Now I'll just clear it up. And then I will do a semicolon here. Okay, so this is where the new executable will be. So you just wmake. And let's hope there's no errors, but I don't know. Will there be errors? I really don't know. Okay. Okay, so apparently there's no error here. So let's go to the custom case. Okay, so I didn't put it in my sandbox, but I put it here. So let's run block mesh and then run experimental iCodeFoam. Okay, or rather let's me do it like that. Custom solver, because the executable is here. Experimental iCodeFoam case. So I go back to places, to folders, and I will go to custom cases, cavity. Okay, and this is the thing. Okay, look at what we have here. Looks like a lot of things are being printed out. I have no idea what this is. Okay, but you can see that a lot of things are being printed out here. Okay, because we did that tmp thing. Okay, so every time your tmp matrix is being solved and you return whatever this tmp returns, it will return a field of things. Okay, so it will start the time loop, and returning tmp will return a lot of things. You see true here, and then it returns a field of all of this. Okay, very long. You probably don't want to always print this out. And a field of 400. This looks like some temperature or some kind of a field. I have no idea what. 760. This is a list of 760 items. Again, I don't know what this is at all. I really don't. But yeah, let's say I only want to print out these fields. And of course, these fields will change over time. You'll be able to see that. But you know, that's how this tmp. That's how I guess you can use one of these tmp things. Okay. So yeah, when you use the reference, thing, you will be able to print out a lot of items, I guess. Excuse me. So yeah, there's the info t equation clear, which I will not touch on. So yeah, we kind of demonstrated a little bit of the tmp functionality. I didn't really do much else here. Okay, I just used the functions that we learned from simpleFoam, and we just use them in icofoam. Okay, so this is in our experimental icofoam.C. So I'm going to do a wclean and remove experimental icofoam. Okay, so that's tmp for you. Again, there are some functions we use it for, but of course now it's not really that important. Okay, it's just important to understand in order to help you make sense of what's going on inside every matrix wherever this tmp thing is being used. Okay, so yeah, it just means it's just a class that helps you to manage memory. Okay, whatever's underlying all the data here, it's still intact, and of course the functions that you use for this are quite different from the class that's being put in. Okay, for example, geometric field here, or in this case FV scalar matrix, is being put into the tmp function, or it's being used as a data type, and then you kind of do whatever with it. So this is an introduction into OpenFOAM and how some of the tools used to manage memory. I'm not going to show you how to use them in this video. I don't know whether I'll do it next time, but no promises. Okay, no promises. So we just want to go with the bare basics. Don't want to confuse ourselves too much, and just take. I guess I don't want to do autoPtr as well. Okay, autoPtr. This I guess will have some other functions in it. You can go and search. You can use the grep command, the grep command, to go and take a look at where this autoPtr thing is being used in your solvers, and then you can try playing around with it as well. Okay, but I'm not going to touch on this because yeah, all of these are just tools to help you manage memory. So if you are just coding solvers for the first time, don't bother just yet. Okay, it's not among your first steps. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.